I'm covering a couple things today. I have some crochet along information. I have some crown sale information. I have some just overall information. And I'm going to be crocheting a little bit while I talk with y'all. So if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, grab you a drink, grab your project, and hang out with me for a few minutes. Good morning. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn, and I'm glad you're here. I'm freezing today, so you will see me in this hoodie. Yes, I know we're in the South. Yes, the last week has been 80 plus degrees, but today it's been storming, but thankfully it is almost 2 o'clock, and it looks like it has moved on. It was only from this morning, like 8-ish. It was supposed to be 8 to 1, but you know, it was a little late. So I want to thank y'all for taking time out of your day to spend some of that time with me. I appreciate it. Whether you are new or you are a returning viewer, I appreciate you so much. Now, I just feel like I recorded Wednesday's video. I mean, it was just 2 days ago. These days kind of creep up on me, especially when I'm not even in my house 90% of the day. But it is what it is. Now, I think it was it Macy or Meredith? I can't remember which one of you told me that y'all were thinking about doing an assembly line type thing. So, after I finished my square from the other day that I showed y'all on Wednesday's video, and then I started this square while I was doing that video, and I got up to one part of the orange, right? Not the second row, but the first row. And I did the orange, and I thought, I remember that comment, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to do all of them in assembly line fashion because then it feels like it would take me way, way too long. I've been there, done that. I have a sunflower cardigan that I did with that in mind, and it drove me slap crazy because I felt like I couldn't get anything accomplished. But that storm I was telling y'all about, it's now like 55 to 60 degrees out there, and it feels so much colder. I think it's because I've been in a cami top and jeans out in the field. Okay, I've been quite hot, and then all of a sudden today, yeah. I'll tell y'all about that in a second. But anyway, so I decided to start a second one, and what I did is I got it all the way up to the same point. And I did both oranges, and then I did the reds, and then I'll do the burgundies at the same time, and then I'll start back over. I think this might be a good thing, double fold. Right now I am on the very last part of the first, I'm on that part of the first round where you have to do the back post singles, so it takes forever. But I figured I'd sit there and do this while I talk to y'all, because otherwise my hands would just be flapping around like they normally do. But I feel so far behind in this cowl. I'm the one hosting it, and you know, and I'm sorry. I did not know my son was going to rent this backhoe at the same time I had planned to do the cowl. I could have postponed the cowl for one more month, and that probably would have been a lot easier on me. But honestly, I didn't think about it. I should have. I really should have. Because it would have been a lot better for me, because I'm not doing a whole lot in the field right now, but that's about to change. Because my other son talked to a friend of his and said that we could borrow their tractor, which has a straight blade and a box blade. So that's what I'll be operating. because that is second nature to me. My backhoe was second nature, but this backhoe has different controls. So I'm not going to waste the backhoe moving stumps that cost us $20 or $35 an hour essentially to use, when I can use the borrowed tractor and move things along that way. And I'll leave any big stumps, huge stumps that I can't move with the tractor. I'll leave that for the backhoe, and just, it is what it is. But anyway, I have some crown sale update. I appreciate each and every one of you that have reached out to me and offered me your sympathies and not sympathies. Sorry, that's the wrong word. I know the word. It's just not coming to me. And you can thank the stupid concussion back in October for that. Support. There's another word that I'm thinking of, and it's just not coming to my... I appreciate y'all reaching out to me, regardless of whether it was buying some of the stuff off the website, whether it was buying me coffees, whether it was sending me some money through PayPal. I appreciate that, each and every one of you. Speaking of that, Sheila and Sandra, I have your bags. In fact, I want to show you. I have them cut and prepped. The bee bag for Sheila. I think that was for Sheila, yeah. And then for Sandra, I have your coffee bag. So they are being made, I promise. It, just like on the listing says, it can take up to 2 to 3 days, especially right now. And Sandra, I have your knit and crochet items already ready. So once I get this bag, it'll get shipped out to you. Now for my coffee, Pam and Allison, thank y'all so very much for buying me a coffee. I drink tea, of course, but it is just a way for, you to be able to reach out in support, and I appreciate that so very much. Meredith, I haven't forgot about you, sweetheart. Thank you. And hold on. I'm trying to get my brain in order. I know that there was something else. Oh, not that Pam. Not the knit along, the Lofty Fiber Pam. I mean, yeah. The Pam that bought me the coffees knows who she is. And I thank you for sharing that with me. I really appreciate that, especially since you sold your scrappy baskets. And Tina, your bag is going out first thing in the morning. I already have it ready and packaged. It's just the mail has already ran for me. So I was like, I'm not going to mess with her for that. I'm not going to, try to print the label, because it would say that it was mailed today when the mail's already ran, and I'm not going to do that. I want a fair tracking, so the day I mail it is the day I print the label. Now, I really, really, really appreciate this. I'm going to leave things as they are right now, but even if I don't raise all the money for the down payment for the crown, I can put what I'm not able to raise on the credit card. But if y'all still want to help me out after Wednesday, I would still appreciate it. That what you give me or what you buy or whatnot, all that money will just go to pay the credit card bill for the remainder of that $550 balance for the down payment. And she said that she would have to wait until I did the balance, or I paid the down payment, to tell me how much it would be to a month to pay off the balance. And, I'm glad they're working with me, because y'all know I had that huge hospital bill from when I had to go to the hospital after that concussion. And I'm dealing with that. but it left no room for this to happen, you know, because, you know, trying to set up monthly payments is atrocious when you have a huge bill and then a not so big bill. So it is, I'm dealing with that on the other side, but I just wanted y'all to know that I really appreciate it. I really do. I hated coming and doing this the other day. It did make me feel better that I was just doing a discount on my website rather than straight up asking someone to give me money. But I also know that as knitters and crocheters, you know, y'all might not want to buy knit and crochet items. And you'd rather do it straight through a monetary gift. And for that, I'm grateful. It doesn't even matter, you know, whichever way. And just by watching my video or going back and watching other videos, that adds to my revenue from YouTube. So that'll help. So even if you don't have any money to buy the stuff on my website or buy me coffees or, you know, PayPal or anything like that, just watching my videos or even going back and watching past videos or letting them play while you're doing something, you know. All of that counts, and I really appreciate it. Because it was very, very hard for me to do that. And the way I could get my husband on board with it was to do a discount off the website. So, well, not that he would need to go along with it. I just would not want to hurt him, you know. Does that make sense? But anyway, oh, okay. Unrelated to all that, but do not, just because I have moved on in my statements, don't think that I'm not appreciative. I see clouds coming back in, really dark ones. It was supposed to be over, because I saw blue skies. Not how long have I been talking? 10 minutes maybe? Man. But, so I had a mild irritation this morning. And it's with the Red Heart Ogos. Now, these have been discontinued, and I see why now. When they first came out, I bought enough of this to do a Georgia Bulldog blanket. That's why I have so much red. But I haven't gotten around to doing it yet. And then they discontinued it, so it was a moot point about trying, you know. I'm glad I only bought these. Well, I do have a couple in another autumn colors. I have one in like cafe or toffee or buff. And then I have one in a mustardy color. So I do have a couple other options color-wise in this. And you know how they tell you, don't cake your yarn unless you're about to use it. Because when I first got my yarn winder, I was caking almost every skein of yarn I had. I had a very small stash. A very small stash. I mean, it could fit in a clothes basket size stash. And I was winding all my yarns. I was so excited. And then I learned that you don't want to wind your yarn before you use it because it can stretch. Even the acrylic fibers, it can stretch them or misshape them, you know. And I have found, if you look at that, how tight that wound. Now, this is not wound tight. This is like a hand wound ball tight. This right here, that junk is wound tight. And you can even see the texture of the yarn is different. And I'm not crazy about that format. For that reason and the fact that once you get right about here and it starts pulling from the inner thing, it starts tangling on itself because of this little nub there. And I'm like, well, okay. Aha. See, I couldn't get this out to begin with, and now I finally just got it out. I mean, other than that, the Ogo is a good idea for what they needed it to be. Because Mikey once explained that they wanted to do a different format than regular skein yarn. Because retailers wanted a way to hang it. And the Ogo was Red Heart's solution to that. And apparently it didn't work as well, obviously, because people found out what I am finding out now. It's just not the best concept. It was a good idea. It was a good trial run, but not the best concept. So, if y'all have used the Ogos, have y'all found that? And it might be because I just have them sitting in this yarn bag that my daughter-in-law bought me for Christmas. Oop, it's unsnapped. Hold on. This yarn bag that she bought me for Christmas, and I had it sitting in the big one since it was in the U, and then when it got small enough, I tried to put it in one of these. But even then, that little piece at the end was interfering with everything, and I'm like, you know what? This is too much. I'm not going to mess with that. So I took it out, and I've just been setting it on top while I use it. And then tucking it in that little pouch when I'm done. I mean, it's a good idea, right? Oh, mercy. But, sorry, I am tired, y'all. In the last video, I told you, that I had been crazy busy that morning, talking about Tuesday morning. And I was. I ended up cubing and sauteing 6 chicken breasts. I cube it because I put it on salads and everything else, like I was telling y'all, that menu that I'm following right now. And I also made me some chili con carne, if that's how you say it. It's CON space CARNE. I made a full batch of that, and then separated that into 1 cup servings, because that's the size that you eat, and put those in the freezer. All my chicken, my cubed chicken that I cooked, I put that in the freezer. That way, when I'm ready for those things on my menu, I just have to pull it out the freezer and my lunch is ready. It's easy to go. And then I also baked me some salmon for lunches as well. So I was cooking crazy. Then when my daughter-in-law had a chicken carcass, and I don't mean anything other than the carcass from our Sam's rotisserie chicken. I did all 3 of mine. As far as, putting them in the because when we go to Sam's and we get one of those rotisserie chickens, we will eat the stuff then, and then I will save the bones and all for my chicken broth. So, Meredith, tell me if that's what you're talking about, or you're talking about the chickens and the cows and stuff that I have, or will have out here. Tell me what you're talking about, sweetheart. But, and everybody, Meredith will know what I'm talking about. But my daughter-in-law still had one that she needed to make chicken broth out of. So I told her, I was like, just bring it up here. I'll get it started in the morning. And when it comes, because we do it for 24 hours. I haven't seen a need to go 48 hours yet. But I just do it for 24 hours in my crock pot. And it makes the best chicken broth. Because whatever seasoning Sam uses on their rotisserie chicken, oh, it is so good. I haven't tried Costco's because I don't have a membership at Costco's. But I've heard that they have rotisserie chickens. Has anybody tried those? Are they any good? Because Sam's that's really good. But with the chicken bones and all, I also do my vegetable scraps, like my carrot peelings, my celery stalked heads and the bases that I don't use, and onion skins and onion tops, stuff like that. And then after I cook it in my crock pot for 24 hours, I strain it out to where it's just that yummy, yummy broth. Oh. And then I can it. And then I can my chicken broth. So Tuesday morning was the end of the 24 hours for her chicken broth. So I went ahead and canned that up for her. So all this was done by 1:30 that day. And I was a tired turkey. And I paid for it yesterday. I'm not going to lie. I had zero energy yesterday. Because after I did all that, I also went out in the field. Which that day, I only sat and watched because I don't like... I don't know if y'all have been aware of how many accidents happen with heavy equipment and stuff, especially on a farm. I've seen way too many accidents in person and online of someone just getting down and the equipment moving, and thankfully I've never seen anything horrific myself. Just a broken foot. But it's never anything horrible. But the things I see online, yes. And in the news, yes. People, can get killed by a simple misstep when they get off of machinery, So I've never liked the idea of anybody working heavy machinery without someone being close by or around to hear them, So there's two people at all times in that field, no matter what. Or if they're not in the field, they're right here on my front porch looking out in the field and can see when the machine stops and if it starts back. Because let's face it, even if you're standing right by that machine, if that machine hurts them when they're off of it and it runs over them or something, like, there's not going to be a whole lot you can do except call 911 or be there with them. And that's what I'm going to do. That's my job. Until we get the other tractor. That is so good. And it's actually, this is doing a lot to warm me up, but that's doing the most work. Trying to get me warm. Oh man, y'all. Look at what I did. I did this on the other square too. So I'm doing single crochets, back post single crochets, right? But the minute I get to this corner, I start doing my little clusters again. And I was doing them all the way across too. I can't stand having to frog things. Meredith's husband, I wonder if you hear my little wind chimes. Aren't they so beautiful? Yes, I'm bad, y'all. I can't help it. Alright. Now, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Oh, and I think it was Meredith that had made the comment that I could crochet without looking at the pattern. Honey, before this, I had done 6 squares in a row, right together. But before that, I had done this to make that pillow back in 2017 too. So if I don't know this pattern fairly well, especially during this first part, the first part is easy peasy. I mean, literally it is a double crochet, treble through the front post, 1 row below, double crochet all the way across. And then you do do one of those in the corner, a chain 2, and do another one in the same corner, and boom. That's all you do. All the way around. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds. Right? Not counting the starting not counting starting round, because you get 2 of each round. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So that's 8 rows, 8 rounds of basically the same stitch. So yeah, you can kind of do it without looking. Now, when it gets into these, I have to have one of them on hand to read, to remind myself what I'm doing on that rope. And in fact, after I do these back post single crochets, I'm going to have to do that. Shamika, if you are not getting our replies, because we have replied to you, me on another video, and then Craft Math Chick on Wednesday's video, for that teal, those teal colors, I used all Caron 1 pound. It was robin's egg, white, robin's egg, aqua, and deep sea teal. I only used 4 colors in that one, because that's all the colors that I had that would, ombre up. And in this one, I am using varsity yellow in Big Twist, or you can use, there's a yellow, I think it's a Sunrise or something in Red Heart. So hang on, I'm going to run through this again. I have it saved in my favorites. Because I took this colorway, but from a individual on Ravelry. And I'm looking for her name, but I don't see it anywhere. Anyway, so she used Red Heart Bright Yellow. And then she used Saffron, which I am using Caron 1 pound Sunflower. Then she used, the orange is Red Heart Pumpkin, which that's what I'm using. Red Heart Cherry, which is what I'm using, just in the Ogo form, not in the regular skein form. And then Red Heart Burgundy. And this is what that colorway looks like after it's done. Now, I do think, and if I know Macy has finished her first square, I think what I'm going to do is after round 23, I think I'm going to do another round of just single crochets to give a little bit more burgundy before, because I think I'm going to join all mine in black. So I think I want a little bit more burgundy before I shift into the black color. What do y'all think? Because this has some good burgundy right here. But I think I want a little bit more burgundy there. I'm thinking that will be the ticket for me. Because I really want that burgundy to pop. Especially against that black. So I hope that helps, Shamika. And if you're not getting our replies, ask me in Facebook, because I know you joined the Facebook group. So ask me over there, and I know I'll get you will have my attention, and I know that I could get you your information. Now, I will warn y'all, some of you have already experienced this. I'm not as fast as I have been on replying to YouTube comments or Facebook or even emails. Because I am out in the field. Now, if I get a minute or two, I will sit down, take a break, and do that. Like the Tuesday, I did. I sat down and was just watching to make sure my daughter-in-law was safe. Yesterday I had a garden rake and I was trying to smooth out some humongous bumps that the backhoe leaves, because let me tell you, it looks rough, y'all. And I will show y'all these things. I do think that I will see how it works. How about that? I will put together a video. It won't be in the next few days. It'll probably be a week or so before I do it, because I have to get all these videos, little clips together, and my son to edit them. But we'll see how it goes. If it if it's going to tank my normal algorithm for my channel, I might not do it. I'll give it a test run and see what it does. And if it gets enough views and people are, you know, excited to see something like that, I will be more than happy to. If not, I might just honestly create a second channel and say, yo, go over here and if you want to see that kind of content. Because some people, you know, there are those of us who like to see and watch. There's so much I watch on YouTube that I don't do. I don't do polymer clay. Now, my daughter's getting into that. And she's getting quite good at it. Right now, it's kind of put on hold because, you know, she's helping us with the land. But, and trust me, after you've been working that backhoe during the day, you don't want to sit there and play with little pieces of clay. But, I love to watch polymer clay. People making things with that, whether it's jewelry or crochet handles, hook handles, or, you know, just amazing stuff. She is making progress keepers, row counters, stitch markers. I mean, she, bag tag, or bag, you know, isn't that what they call them? Bag tags? Bag charms. Told y'all my brain, man, my brain. But the whole point of that was that, you know, I'm not as responsive as I normally am. And I got off on the thing about possibly having to do another channel, but we'll see how that develops. As far as the crochet along, oh, Pam with Lofty Fibers, if you're still here, sweetheart, I'm so sorry I missed a second Wednesday. Y'all tell me, did anybody from here go hang out? Because basically they're just kind of doing a Stitch social right now on Zoom. So if you don't have a local meeting, think about that. And after things slow down with me a bit, you know, if y'all want me to, I could do that. I might have to put it up against a paywall, like members only or something, but I don't know. Because it wouldn't be going through YouTube. It would be going through Zoom. So, I don't know. We'd have to see. But anyway, if any of y'all went, that is awesome. I'm sorry I was not there. Those are some really cool ladies. I was doing it again. I was doing my stacked single instead of my little single, then chain two and single again. But I caught myself that time. Anyway, I about did it again. Muscle memory, I'm telling y'all, it is a strong thing with me, especially when my brain is trying to focus on two things at once, like crocheting and sitting here talking. But that's okay. I don't mind. I like hanging out with y'all. What was I saying? Oh, if any of y'all are looking for yarn, Kayla at Llama Mama Kayla, she already did one live sale. She's selling off some of her yarn, or a good bit of her yarn, and she's got a great collection. So go subscribe to her channel if you're not already. If you are, you probably already know that she's doing this giveaway. She's already done one live. I did miss it, but it was my intentions to go and support her, and then I had Monday's dental visit, and I'm needing support myself, so I really can't do that right now. That's not to say that I won't be able to when I get a little bit back up on my feet, because it will happen. It will happen. It's just, you know, between the two bills, it's staggering. But anyway, so go check her out. And if you are looking for some great deals on yarn, you may be able to find what you're looking for there. I don't know. She said that they will be continuing to do it. That wasn't going to be the only time. So go check her out. For those of you who don't know, she has Raynaud's syndrome. She's had 7 finger amputations up to this point, but she's scared that she's going to be losing her left thumb, which that'll leave no fingers on her left hand. And she's wanting to basically invest in other arts and crafts that she can do with just the 2 fingers that she'll have left on the right hand. So not only will you be doing something good, you'll be getting some great yarn out of it too. But anyway, I know there was something I was supposed to tell you. I should have wrote it down somewhere, but I did not. I'm sorry, y'all. Squirrel moments galore over here today. It was my intention. My grandson spent the night. And when my grandson spends the night, he sleeps with us. That's his preference. I would rather him have a bed or something, but he still sleeps with his parents. So it's a comfort thing for him. They're trying to get him to stay in his bed through the night, but he still finds his way there. And since he doesn't live here, I would rather him start the night with me and my husband rather than, and I hear him running through the house now, rather than trying to find us, in the middle of the night. I mean, he knows this house like he knows his own, so it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but let him get a little older. But the ramifications of that right now is when he spends the night, it's not conducive to getting a whole lot of sleep. Hold on, guys. I got to get I had it in my bag because my daughter-in-law and I hadn't been long got back from town because my son called me this morning, this morning, and said, we need a grease gun. I said, well, I know we had one. I just don't know if your dad threw it away. Read me throwing it away. Because it was old. I don't mind an old grease gun, but it was leaking at one point in one area. And it had been so long since we used it, it was rusted up. So I don't know. Yes, buddy? Okay.
Almost.
Okay. Well, you go ahead and finish school, and Grandma will finish recording this, and then we'll go out to the field, okay?
I don't want to go.
I know you don't, baby. But we got to go. Sorry about that. That is my sweet, bright, very smart, homeschooled grandson. But anyway, about said grandson, my husband and I don't sleep much when he spends the night because he is a little octopus. And yes, we have a king-size bed. And neither my husband nor I are huge people. In fact, he's losing a lot of weight. He's losing weight more than I am and not even trying. And us and the doctor have been trying to chase this down for about 6 months. Because my husband usually would range about 195 to 200. Now, he's 6'1". So that's not a lot for his tall frame. But now he is down to 159 pounds. So we are trying to chase down what's wrong. He does smoke, so I told him that would help with his appetite. And, there's a couple other things that we're trying to address with the doctor, but the biggest thing is hunger. Sorry, my shirt is getting up near my collar and it's irritating me, the top of my neck. But y'all, I finished my second square, so now I have these two, and I can start on the burgundy. In fact, I can do that now while I'm chit-chatting with y'all, because the burgundy is a lot of single crochets, but first I have to do that initial where it starts down into that, where I make my new corner. Do I do one full row of that? That's why I love doing this. Yes, I do one full row. So I have to have 27 single crochets across each side. And then I will start my second corner. But anyway. I forgot where I was. Oh, as far as, you know, being tired. And we got to go out there now, which, depending on when my son is getting off work, is when we will, I think my daughter-in-law is wanting to have some time on it today, too. I don't know. But my son had called me about the grease, so we went to Walmart and grabbed a grease gun and some grease, because I don't know if I threw away our grease gun because it was so rusted and it was leaking grease, or if my husband put it away somewhere. I don't remember. So I told my son, rather than wrecking my brain trying to find it, because my memory is not what it needs to be anyway, let me go ahead and go try to find it. So we are. We went to Walmart and I found it and everything. And I'm going to have to start the burgundy here in a minute. My brain is just totally discombobulated now. Anyway, I'm going to get off here because he said that they were almost done with school. So they'll be waiting on me. And I don't know if my son is getting off at normal time or if they're knocking off a little bit early. He has been knocking off a little bit early this week. Yesterday he did normal time, so I don't know if he'll do normal time today or not. But at least this will be done, because the other son called me asking, the one that edits this, or he texted me asking if I was going to have a video for tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, but I have not filmed it yet. So we need to. I just heard my daughter-in-law crank up the truck. Unless my son's already home. Normally I get notifications if either of my sons pull up in my yard. I get a notification on Life 360. But anyway, I'm going to get off here. About the crown sale. If you haven't heard from Wednesday's video, I am doing a 30% off sale on all my knit and crocheted items on my website. It is not instantaneous. You don't see it on the listing. You will see it in the checkout. You don't have to put a code or anything. It's an automatic thing when you get to checkout. To help try to raise money for the down payment for this crown that I have to get put in my mouth Wednesday. I also have Buy Me a Coffee or my PayPal listed below. I appreciate it if you don't want to do that. Like I said earlier, just watching this video and watching my older videos, all of that helps. Okay? And it really does. It humbles me that people are so willing to help out. But I'm going to get off here. And I will see y'all Monday. Hopefully, I don't know. Those all 3 days, I mean, they're going to be full days in the field because my son will be there. And he likes to start at 7:30ish, 8 o'clock. So I will be out there with him. I don't know if I'll be raking up anything or not, because sometimes I'm tired. I'm not going to be doing any raking today. Today I'm going to be watching for safety and working on this. That's what I'm going to be doing. Or I might take my my cowl for the knit along. I might take that with me too. But I have to stay focused on that because that's a lace pattern. So maybe not. I might leave that for tonight. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I think I'll leave that just for tonight. So I'm going to pack up my completed square and my 2 squares that are on the way to being completed. Hopefully this weekend. Don't know. And I'm going to get out here in the field. Regardless of whether I will be out there with my daughter-in-law or my son. We shall see. Anyway, I hope y'all have a great weekend. Stay safe. Enjoy yourselves. If you find any joy whatsoever. And it's hiding. It's hiding in the smallest things that you don't even think about. Find it, grab it, don't let go of it. Until Monday, I will see y'all. Take care. Bye.